Hi, this is an interesting video which I have entitled Why the Rich and Top Employees Are Satisfied with Pandemic Mishandling. There's a lot of truth to that, and I'm going to explain why. My name is Carl Pearson, and during my self-imposed quarantine, this is my 37th video on a variety of topics to help the 99% survive the multiple crises we are now facing. I now want to explain why the rich and most high-earning employees are quite satisfied with the mishandling of the pandemic and could have participated for a profit in this mishandling. I'm an attorney for 58 years. I've received my law degree from Harvard Law School. I'm a high school dropout with no diploma, but I graduated magna cum laude with a BA in 2.5 years. I was also elected student council president. And I've been a small business person since my paper route in Nebraska at age 9. I'm almost 84 years old. I live in New York, and I've been cooped up in the heart of the coronavirus for the past 75 days in an all-out effort by me to live many years more. Years ago, I wrote a best-selling book. Actually, then it sold 60,000 hardcover copies, and it was published by the major publisher Doubleday, and it was on the stock market and other types of investments. I was a first-year lawyer at that time. With this in mind, let me go on and explain how I have concluded that the rich and top money-making or money-earning job holders are okay, if not very satisfied, with the mounting deaths and unemployment from the pandemic, and do not want to waste any more government money, which they would like themselves to be paid, in trying to save small businesses, assist unemployed persons, provide adequate testing or PPE, and contain the pandemic as fast as possible, unbelievable as this may sound at the outset. Here are the facts I needed to draw my conclusion. 1. Congress has not overridden President Trump's failure to deal with the various crises resulting from the pandemic. 2. Congress has not provided any significant relief for the nation's 27 million small businesses to enable them to pay the business fixed or overhead expenses, or to pay for the personal fixed or overhead expenses of the owners of the businesses. Both need to be covered, and nothing was given in that respect at all whatsoever. And instead they provided a loan to a small percentage of small businesses if they retained employees they no longer needed. Now, what kind of a support for small business is that? In other words, Congress has written off 27 million small businesses while providing huge financial support for the top 1,000 big businesses in a variety of legal and illegal ways. 3. A lot of money and profits are being made by friends of the administration, even as to companies that did not exist or have any sales until awarded no-bid government contracts. And monies supposedly for pandemic relief were surreptitiously given to friends of the administration instead of being used for their intended purpose. Imagine if all this ended by stopping the coronavirus as South Korea and New Zealand have done. But we haven't tried. I wonder why. 4. Congress has provided very little financial relief for newly unemployeds, and whatever relief was given is nearing an end, with nothing further to be done for them. Think of that, nothing further for the unemployed. 5. The U.S. never acted when it had the chance to control the coronavirus by doing what South Korea has done, even though both countries were alerted to the virus on the very same date, January 21, 2020. South Korea got the virus under control in 1 month after starting to work on it, and the U.S. is still not doing what is proven and necessary to control the pandemic. 6. The officials who could help are being fired and replaced with Trump followers. 7. The president and a significant number of governors, congresspersons, and voters are demanding an opening up of business and acknowledging that this will lead to more confirmed cases and deaths, and the possibility that the U.S. may be set back to the beginning with an even greater wave of contagion and death. A significant part of the U.S. has bought into the idea that business and profits are more important than the lives of the more vulnerable, and yes, the less vulnerable as well. Even children are affected by it and killed by it. 8. Unemployment keeps rising, with just the claims alone since March 19, 2020, a total of only 10 weeks, exceeding 40 million people, so that the real number of the presently unemployed must be about twice as many as that, or 80 million people. 9. The stock market is going up as unemployment, confirmed cases, and deaths are going up, something which seems quite contrary to expectations. What this means to me is that the market sees unemployment, which is caused by confirmed cases and deaths, as good for business, which I take to mean that big business has been able to terminate unwanted high-cost U.S. employment and does not intend to rehire in the U.S. because it is profitable for them not to rehire, and the stock market is reflecting this belief. 10. Senator McConnell flatly states that there are to be no more relief bills, so that the government has decided to cut loose small business and the unemployed. When allowing small businesses to fail, the business is picked up by big business to make them even more profitable, which is another but related reason for the stock market moving upward upon the bad news for small business. 11. Anyone with money doesn't deal with the pandemic in the way that essential employees and small businesses expose themselves to the virus. A person with a lot of money can live in a secluded house with others taking care of the big business, can have as much testing as he or she wants, is able to obtain real estate investments at highly discounted prices, pennies on the dollar, and really doesn't feel the effect of the pandemic as much as the 99%. 12. Congresspersons, including senators, receive their pay and don't worry about employment termination as long as they get the needed campaign contributions to assure their re-election. 13. Top media personalities earn millions per year and don't have to worry about avoiding the virus, and have a financial interest akin to the rich, except for the need by some to make it appear that they are sympathetic with the 99%. You can be sympathetic but still want, derive, and accept the benefits of the pandemic. 14. None of the major media has responded to any of the numerous efforts I've made to point out which is happening, which reminds me how it is said in the legal industry that it is in the best interest of an exceedingly rare, I might point out, corrupt judge to pretend that he or she didn't know and is stupid rather than the judge to admit that he or she is corrupt. 15. Recently, Fox and Friends host Brian Kilmeade complains that we've shut down an entire country for 0.3%, or I've computed 1 million, of the nation's population, promoting the idea to millions of viewers that the deaths of 1 million Americans is not as important as promoting business interests. Of course, the two are not mutually exclusive, and it is argued by many that the overall losses may be higher by a premature dropping of the pandemic defenses. 16. A significant number of the 99% are unwilling to put on masks, encouraged by President Trump and some members of his party and administration, knowing and not caring that this will cause additional infections, deaths, unemployment, small business failures, mile-long bread lines, Hoovervilles, and a further decline in their standard of living. 17. Senator Booker's current effort to obtain $50 billion to aid small business is a joke. It's only $1,700 per small business, which is only 1 or 2 days of relief, and totally worthless, but it's not going to be enacted anyway. 18. The rich have drained the U.S. of trillions of dollars already, and the leadership wants to have what is left to give further handouts to the rich, and not waste the money on the unemployed, small businesses, home renters, and mortgagor homeowners. 19. With all of this, it is clear to me that the rich and top earners are profiting from the deaths, infections, rampant spread, and unemployment resulting from the coronavirus. They are happy with their good fortune in the middle of this pandemic and are not going to do much about these problems except try to make as much money as possible before the 99% get wise and bring these shameful activities to an end, which of course the rich and many of the top earners are resisting in numerous ways, such as opposing voting by mail and pushing for opening up of the economy by not wearing face masks and by holding church services without masks or social distancing. 20. In light of this, the 99% needs to do the right thing at the ballot box and hope that new thinking will prevail starting on January 2021, Inauguration Day. 21. Also, each member of the 99% should try to adjust as best as possible to this ugly set of facts. I've provided my analysis as a member of the 99% and hope that this helps you understand why no more relief is going to occur before Inauguration Day 2021. Well, I'll be back soon with my next video.